Hello everyone, welcome to Intellify. Myself Nandini, and today I'm going to discuss the NCRT solutions and extra questions of chapter The Interview, basically the part 2 of the chapter The Interview of class 12th. So let us start. First of all, I would be summarizing the chapter The Interview in short. So let us start. So the chapter The Interview is an excerpt taken from the Penguin Book of Interviews. It is written by Christopher Sylvester. In this chapter, in the first part of this chapter, the author talks about the technique of interview as a new way of interrogating. He talks about it with reference to the field of journalism. Moreover, he also discusses the importance of this new technique. Further, in part 2, the chapter contains an excerpt from an interview between Mukund, belonging to the Hindu newspaper, and Umberto Eco. Eco is a professor at the University of Bologna in Italy. He has a daunting status as a scholar for his philosophies on semiotics. Semiotics is the study of science, literary interpretation, and medieval aesthetics before taking up writing fiction. So, in the interview, we see it centers on his successful novel. The name of the novel is The Name of the Rose. His novel sold more than 10 million copies. Mukund begins by asking him how he manages to do such different things. Umberto replies saying he is doing the same thing. Further, he goes on to justify his books that revolve around peace and non-violence for children as well. We learn that Umberto classifies himself as an academic scholar. He attends various academic conferences throughout the week and writes novels on Sundays. Moreover, he expresses that others considering him as a novelist and not scholar does not affect him at all. He agrees it is rather tough to influence millions of people with academic work. Moreover, we also learn how he believes that our lives have empty spaces like the ones in atoms. He refers to them as interstices and admits that he does most of his productive work in the course of that time. Speaking about his novel, he remarks that it is not an easy read. It has got a defective feature to it alongside metaphysics, theology, and medieval history. Similarly, he thinks that if he wrote the novel 10 years earlier or later, it would not have achieved the same success. Thus, the reason for the success of the novel remains a mystery. So the conclusion of the interview chapter is we learn how many people differ when it comes to interviews. Nonetheless, they are very interesting and informative as seen from Umberto's interview. Now let us discuss the solutions of textual questions from NCRT book Flamingo. Under the heading Understanding the Text, the first question is, do you think Umberto Eco likes being interviewed? Give reasons for our opinion. So, the answer to this question can be written as after screening and going through the interview extract, that after giving the interview, one can easily notice that Umberto Eco does not allow the slightest wrinkle on his face, meaning by that he do not panic at all while giving interviewed or while being interviewed or while giving interview. Rather, he interacts very properly and methodically. He gives details about writing his novel, The Name of the Rose, and the way he pursues his philosophical interests. He feels happy considering him as a university professor. Thus, he does not think that interviewing is any kind of crime or offense. It is only a way to detail others. Question number 2. How does Eco find the time to write so much? So, Umberto Eco works on the theory of interstice, that is, an empty space. Eco believes that we have a lot of empty spaces, which he named as interstices in our lives, like the spaces in atoms. He terms them interstices. He always works in empty spaces. He gives an example of this by saying that suppose one is coming over to my place in a lift from first floor to the third floor. The wait and the time duration to come over to the third floor is an interstice, meaning by it's an empty space in our life that we can utilize. So Umberto Eco works so much during this empty space. Question number 3. What was distinctive about Eco's academic writing style? Umberto Eco displays philosophical interests in his writing style. His books for children are about non-violence and peace, which is not common nowadays. They even find ethical facts. His essays have a narrative aspect which exhibits his personal quality. It departs from the regular academic style, which is dry and boring. So he narrates or he writes his books in a narrative type of way, so that the reader would not be bored. He started writing novels by accident at the age of 50 years, more or less. Number 4. Did Umberto Eco consider himself a novelist first or an academic scholar? So Umberto Eco does not regard himself a novelist first. It gives him much elation or satisfaction if he is called a university professor who writes novels on Sundays. He participates in academic conferences but not in the meetings of pen clubs and writers, which are supposed to be for novelists. He prefers identifying himself with the academic community rather than being with the novelist community. It gives him much satisfaction when he is called a university professor first or a academic scholar first rather than being novelist. Question number 5. What is the reason for the huge success of the novel The Name of the Rose by Umberto Eco? So the novel The Name of the Rose, it is a detective novel at one level, but it delves or it consists metaphysics, theology and medieval history. It is a wrong belief that people do not like reading difficult experiences and they treat it like trash, but this is wrong. This is not true. 2 to 3 million copies were sold of this book in US, and it proves that people like reading difficult experiences. Now we will be discussing some extra questions. First of all, a paragraph would be given and we have to answer the questions based on the paragraph. So the paragraph is, now that is more difficult to explain. I have some philosophical interests and I pursue them through my academic work and my novels. Even my books for children are about non-violence and peace. You see, the same bunch of ethical, philosophical interests. So based on this context, we have to answer the questions. So the first question with reference to this context is, who is the speaker of the above lines? So we know that Umberto Eco is the speaker of the above lines when he tells the interviewer Mukund, who is basically from the Hindu newspaper, that how he pursue his philosophical interests through writing the books which are based on non-violence and peace for children as well. Now question 2, whom is the speaker talking to? The speaker Umberto Eco is speaking to Mukund Padmanabhan, the interviewer. Third question, how does the speaker pursue his philosophical interests? So Umberto Eco, the speaker, pursues his philosophical interests through his academic work and his novels. Question 4, what are his books for children about? His books for children are about non-violence and peace. Now next paragraph. This is why my essays always have a narrative aspect, and this is why probably I started writing narratives, novels so late, at the age of 50 more or less. I remember that my friend Roland Barthes was always frustrated that he was an essayist and not a novelist. He wanted to do creative writing one day or another, but he died before he could do so. So related to this context, the first question is, why did his essays have a narrative aspect? So we have to tell that why the essays of Umberto Eco have a narrative aspect. So the essays of Umberto Eco have a narrative aspect because he used to write in a way of telling stories so that the reader would not get bored. Next question. When did Umberto Eco start writing novels? Umberto Eco started writing novels at the age of 50, more or less. Question 3. Why was his friend Roland Barthes always frustrated? The friend of Umberto Eco, Roland Barthes, was always frustrated because he was an essayist and not a novelist, and he wants to become a novelist. Question 4. What did his friend want to do? The friend of Umberto Eco, Roland Barthes, wanted to do creative writing. Now we will be discussing some short answer questions. So the first question is, Umberto Eco says, I am always doing the same thing, but that is more difficult to explain. Why does he say so? So we all know that Umberto Eco feels elevated, or he feel very satisfied when people call him a professor rather than a novelist. People think that he is doing many things, but he concludes of doing himself the same thing. It is because that Umberto Eco had some philosophical interest which is followed in his novels and other academic work. His children books are also based on peace and non-violence, so there is a touch of philosophical and ethical interest as well, which he likes the most, and he is only pursuing his passion. Question number 2. What secret does Umberto Eco point out to Mukund Padmanabhan about an interview? Umberto Eco points out towards empty space in the universe. According to him, if the empty space is eliminated from the universe and as well as from the atoms, this universe will turn big as our fist. In the same way, our lives are full of empty spaces. Umberto Eco calls them interstices. Eco says, suppose you are coming over to my place on the 3rd floor. You are in an elevator from the 1st to 3rd floor and I am waiting for you. This is an interstice. So he is basically explaining the fact that our life is consists of many empty spaces, meaning by we have a lot of time, uh, and he gives and he proves this statement by giving an example that suppose someone is coming over to his place in a lift from first floor to the 3rd floor, and the wait or the time duration to come over to the 3rd floor is termed as an interstice. So Umberto Eco, he works in that empty space. Coming to question 3. How does Umberto Eco explain his capacity of doing so much work? What are interstices and how does Eco use them? So Umberto tells the secret of his working style in interview. People have a lot of empty spaces in their lives, which Umberto Eco calls as interstices or intervals. He utilizes and makes use of these intervals. This is the secret of his success. He tells his interviewer Mukund that while he was waiting for his elevator to come up, he has already written an article, meaning by he is utilizing that time. Question number 4. Describe the distinct style of the novel The Name of the Rose, written by Umberto Eco. So The Name of the Rose is the most popular and respected novel of Umberto Eco, and it is a very serious novel. At one level, it appears to be a detective yarn, but it also delves into metaphysics, theology, and medieval history. It is for those readers who don't want an easy experience or who don't want to read boring stuffs, meaning by it's a thrilling novel, but still it has a tremendous mass appeal. Coming to question 5. Why did Umberto Eco start writing novels at the age of 50, more or less? Umberto Eco was basically an academician. He was pursuing scholarly pursuits through academic writings, and he feel very much proud if someone calls him a professor or university professor before being referred to as novelist. So he wrote about 40 non-fictional writings before writing his first novel. He himself says that he became a novelist by accident. Perhaps that was the reason he started writing novels so late at the age of 50, more or less. Question number 6. How is Umberto Eco's non-fictional writing a departure from his regular style? Umberto Eco's non-fictional writing is a departure from his regular style because it has a certain playful and personal quality about it. His regular academic style is depersonalized and boring, meaning by philosophical, because academic material is somewhat non-fiction. There is nothing interesting or thrilling about that. Like other scholars, Eco doesn't make false hypotheses. On the contrary, he tells the story of his research, including his trials and errors as well. Question number 7. The Name of the Rose is a very serious novel of Umberto Eco, yet it enjoyed a mass audience. Give reasons for its popularity. Umberto Eco's famous novel, The Name of the Rose, is a very serious novel, but it enjoyed a mass audience. The interviewer Mukund wants to know the reason of its huge success. Even journalists and publishers are puzzled. People like what is we can say that people like what is served to them. If they are given to read even serious novels, they will read them. They accepted and digested a serious novel like The Name of the Rose. Its timing was perfect. About 10 to 15 million copies of the novel were sold. Now we will be discussing some long answer questions. So the first question is, what does Umberto Eco point out about himself and his novel The Name of the Rose? In an interview with Mukund, Umberto Eco points out that he regards himself a university professor rather than a novelist. He likes being referred to as a university professor before novelist. Likewise, he readily went in academic conferences, but he did not go to meetings of pen clubs and the writers because he did not like. He links himself, he likes to being linked with the academic community rather than the novelist community. He is a professor who writes novels on Sundays. Even people have the impression that Umberto Eco is doing many things, but he said in his interview that he is doing the same thing. Here, Eco tells that his work includes philosophical interest, and in his novels for children, one can find non-violence and peace. Meaning by Umberto Eco likes philosophy very much, and he is just pursuing his passion by writing the philosophical things. And in fact, his novels for children are about non-violence and peace, which is not so common nowadays. He says that the universe has empty spaces and these are eliminated in all the atoms. The universe will become as big as the fist of a man. He regards these empty spaces as interstices and he works in them. He utilizes these time intervals. For his writing, Umberto Eco adopts informal approach. He departs from a regular academic style which is boring, and his essays follow a narrative aspect, he is reading some story to his readers, which was the crowning success for his novel The Name of the Rose. It attracted a mass audience. His novels are full of narration. Side by side, his novel has metaphysics, theology and medieval history as well, and it has other experiences too which the people like the most. Question number 2. How does Umberto Eco pursue his philosophical and academic interests? How does he make use of interstices? And how has he developed a non-fiction style? So Umberto Eco has many philosophical interests. He pursues them through his academic works and novels, which are based on philosophy. Even his children's work are about non-violence and peace, which is not so common nowadays, as I have mentioned before. They are the same bunch of ethical and philosophical interests which he is pursuing. Eco wrote more than 40 scholarly works on non-fiction based on his academic routine. Eco considers himself a university professor first who writes novels only on Sundays. He do not like being referred to as a novelist, rather he likes being referred to as a university professor or an academician. He prefers to be called as academicians. Umberto shares a secret with the interviewer of his success. He thinks that if we eliminate the empty spaces from the universe, which are present in between the atoms as well, the world will shrink. It will only become as big as fist only. Similarly, we have a lot of empty spaces or interstices in our lives. He works in these spaces and uses them to his advantage. Umberto Eco has evolved a distinct non-fiction style, which he basically used in his academic reports or stuffs. but his scholarly works have a certain playful and personal quality about them. It is different from his regular style, which is boring and depersonalized and often dry also. He is different from other scholars. Eco tells the story of his research. Even he includes his trials and errors, which are not mentioned by other scholars. His essays always have a narrative aspect which do not bore the readers. This narrative style of his scholarly works was fully developed later on in his novels, and this is the reason his novel, The Name of the Rose, became a huge success. Coming to the last but not least, question third: what picture do you form of Umberto Eco after reading the extract of the interview of Eco that was taken by Mukund Padmanabhan? So, the interview is an extract from an interview of Umberto Eco. The interviewer, Padmanabhan, helps us know many aspects of his writing styles and ideas. He emerges as a many sided genius to us. Even the novels, David Lodge can't understand how Umberto Eco can do all things he does at once. Eco answers it very modestly. He only gives the impression of doing many things. Actually, he is doing the same thing. So he is doing the same thing, but he gives the impression to the people that he is doing several things. He pursues his philosophical interests through his academic writings and novels. Eco himself tells the secret of his success. He feels that there is a lot of empty spaces in our lives, which he calls them interstices. He works in these empty spaces and utilizes them to his advantage. Umberto Eco prefers himself to be called an academician rather than a novelist. He wrote more than 40 philosophical writings against just 5 novels, which he started writing novels just by accident, and that too at a late age of 50. Modesty and honesty, these are the signs of a great writer like Eco. Mukund Padmanabhan asks the reason behind the huge success of his novel The Name of the Rose. Umberto honestly replies that the success of this novel is a mystery even to him. Perhaps he wrote it at an appropriate time. Had it been written 10 years before or after, perhaps it would not have been such a huge success. Thank you all for your patient hearing. I hope that these questions will help you in your exams. All the best. See you in the next video.